I want to start doing that. And especially with the hair, I just want I just I just want the girls to not feel like their hair is ugly.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people would tell me my hair was ugly, and then it would kind of make me feel like it was ugly until I got to the point where I didn't care what they said.
Okay.
So I just feel like nobody is focusing on black girls and their self-esteem. Like, they're too busy criticizing them for what they do at a young age. Like, okay, they're in 7th grade. They don't, necessarily know that what they're doing can be destructive.
Right.
All you have to do is help them, but you have to start from the inside. Like, people always want to put a Band-Aid on what's going on, but you have to really, get inside of who they are, right, and to, fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So with my foundation, that's one of the main things that I want to do. I want to do the back-to-school event, too, and I also want to do the prom contest. One day I want to have a school, so that's like my ultimate goal with it, is to have a school, and that, centers on not just what you're learning in school, because a lot of times they only teach for the test and then they forget it, and so they really haven't learned anything. So I want to do, I want my school to focus on, everything that's really going to make them productive citizens in life after school, and not just pass a test, and then when you get to college, you're really struggling because you didn't really learn anything.
Focus on learning for life. Focus on, what you want to be, vocational kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, I can see it. And to bring it full circle, again, we've talked a lot about everything on your site and your blog, but let's talk a bit about that, your actual blogging in itself. How did you, of course, as a writer, that probably comes more natural to you. It's easier than maybe the average person who just kind of does it on freelance, free time. But your blog.
Yeah, so the blog, I just saw a bunch of people blogging on Facebook, and then, of course, since I love writing, I'm like, okay, I want to do this. But I didn't have anything to write about at first until the summer, I had started. People was just like, did you cut your hair? They was like, did you cut your hair? Why are you so bald-headed? And, literally they'll say that. And they was just saying a whole bunch of stuff about, the length of my hair or whatever. So, it was hard for them to understand, this is shrinkage. So it just came to my mind. I'm like, let me make a blog post. I'm going to call it Bald and Bougie. Since everybody think I'm bald, I'm just going to embrace the bald title and say Bald and Bougie. So I wrote the blog, and then I basically made it being natural, this is what you have to deal with. I kind of did it in a sarcastic way.
Right.
And then the second part of it was showing my growth from when I had the color and everything, and up into the point, during the summer, just to show you're going to have to deal with people calling you these names, or people not used to it staring at you in public. But then once you see your growth, you're going to fall in love with your hair. So that was really what it was about. And then the rest of my I haven't blogged as much as I want, because I've been doing the book,
right.
But I want to do, a blog post at least once a week, and I want to, just talk about things that are important, things that are fun. I just want to write and get people, to be entertained or motivated by whatever I put in my blog.
Yep. Like I see, one of your posts is 10 ways to protect your peace, and I think that's always important, because so often just in everyday life, dealing with family, dealing with other things, we get caught up in maybe other people's stuff, or wrapped up in the daily grind, that we forget to protect that center of and letting everything get away from us. So again, I think that your blog, and I'm seeing a lot here, you touched on mental illness a bit, and other things, just things to help other people keep yourself motivated, so to speak. So let's go back to the book. When is the official release date of your book?
So I had to change it. It was going to be January 20th. Now it's going to be February 17th.
Okay.
And it's going to be at the Baltimore Gallery from 4 to 8. I do want to, I don't know if I want to put it on pre-order. I did want to, but I think I would put it on, I think I'll put it available to order online after the release party.
Right.
The release party, at first, it was just more for me, my family and friends. Really, I just wanted it to be a celebration of this accomplishment.
Right.
But everyone told me I should, make it public and, have other people come. So that's what I'm going to do. And Yeah, the date has changed. It was January 20th. Now it's February 17th. I am going to make at first the event thing was private. I didn't know I made it private on Facebook. And then they said you can't change it from private to public. So now I have to make like
a new event.
Public thing.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to take pictures. I'm going to have food. I'm going to have drinks. And it's really just like to have fun and celebrate the release of the book.
Okay, and so that's the release. And what other events do you have lined up after the book party? So
for February 25th, the Detroit Book City, I don't know if you guys heard of it. They're doing, and they do it at the Northwest Activity Center too.
Yeah.
I went to it last year, but I'm going to sell my book there. I'm going to be a vendor there.
Okay.
In June, I'm going to go to Atlanta I forgot what it was called, but it's some type of, not the Essence, the Atlanta, it's some type of expo. Okay. That's it's going to be in Atlanta, so I'm going to go there and do that. And then also the Essence Festival. This lady that I met in Atlanta, she said she's going to take me there where I can sell my book. She's a publisher in Atlanta, so I'm going to do that. And I think it was Chicago in March. I was thinking about that. It was either March or April. I'm thinking about it. It's just going to depend on, what I'm doing in between, because I do have to, tutor and everything.
Right.
So I was thinking about that as well.
Okay. And, well, actually, after the book, of course, the website, how can others reach you? Website, social media, email.
So all of my social media is Stacy Lampkin. My name Stacy. Then my last name is Lampkin. And my email. I want to say the whole email. Okay. The email is on a social media. So if you go on my Instagram or something and you click email, and then my phone number is also on my social media. I do tutoring and I put my flyer up and everything. So you can call, text if you want the book. I'm going to make the book for accessible to pre-order sometime after the release, probably. I might do it. Well, I guess it can be pre-ordered then if it's after.
Right.
I might do the pre-order. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that. But either way, after the book release party, you will always be able to get it from my website, which is stacylampkin.com.
Gotcha.
So my name is StacyLampkin.com.
Okay.
And it'll always be on there.
StacyLampkin.com. We can order that book off the website after the release party, most likely. Okay. Also, what do you hope people will take away from your book?
Well, first, I hope everybody like it. I'm really critical of myself.
Yeah, that.
And I kept going back and adding more and taking stuff out.
And changing and editing.
But the whole point is that I really hope that people, and I feel like adults can enjoy it as well if they're reminiscing on their childhood, but I feel like the young adults and the teens, I really want them to take from it the things that we do unconsciously because we don't know any better and we don't have those role models in our life. And not necessarily saying our parents aren't trying to do their best job or anything, but they're living in the same country as us, which, it's just, a trickle down effect. So it's like when your parents were raised away, they don't necessarily know how to raise you in a different way. So it's with one of the girls, her mom is just never there. Her mom is on drugs. She's basically surviving on her own. Right. So it's whatever she does that can self-destruct her, you can't really blame her because she doesn't know any better. Exactly. So I want the kids to kind of see, look at what can happen when you're not careful. Right. And then especially with, the girl that's dating Lance who's messing with all these guys, it's even though she has her mom and her dad, it's they're just telling her, leave him alone, don't do this, don't do that. But they're not putting any content behind it. So as a teenager, you're okay, I'm going to still do it. Why, you know what I'm saying? You're not really explaining why I shouldn't. So then you go through all this, crazy nonsense with this guy to the point where like you just put yourself through all this pain, and like now you're just this young, torn girl for no reason because you didn't have your dad to sit down and say, this is how a man should treat you.
Right.
So it's just simple things like that I feel like they should really get out of it and try to understand, you know, and I know they won't understand everything right away because I'm still learning life, you know, but I want them to see, like, you know, if this doesn't feel right, or even though someone's not, you know, every day holding your hand, you got to kind of make some decision on your own just because this is what we were forced to deal with.
Exactly.
So I want a lot of them to really take, you know, a lot of, I feel like it's a lesson in every character story. And I feel like you said, it's you can relate to at least one character. So I want them to kind of see, like, your path could possibly go down a drain, you know, if you're not safe.
Exactly.
So
exactly. What advice would you give to anyone who wants to be a writer, blogger, getting published, anything like that?
I would say, when you want to do it, go ahead for it. Don't wait so long. Like I don't necessarily regret waiting so long to do it because I feel like the things that I put in my book, I needed those years of growth to actually, you know, put that in there anyway. Mm-hmm. So, but I feel like had I had like the entrepreneurship mindset when I was in middle school, like I've written so many stories that I still have, like I could, you know, have so many books right now, or I could, you know, be doing so many other things. Had I started earlier, you know, my growth would already be there. But then it's like you needed this growth to really understand. I don't think, like, I don't know much about getting with publishing companies or anything like that because I did self-publish, and I'm not really interested in doing that company because I don't want to deal with any, you know, anything sneaky, and, you know, I just don't want to go through that. But, so I can't speak on that, but I feel like the self-publishing, it was pretty easy. You know, you just find a publisher, you make sure the price is right. I went up there to Ann Arbor, and he walked me around the place, and he showed me copies of his book, and I mean, the books that they printed out his book.
Right. And,
you know, I made sure it was a legit place, and, you know, I felt really comfortable with going with them. So just make sure that you're not just sending your money and you haven't, you know, talked to someone. Like, I didn't want to do any publishing companies out of state because I wasn't going to be able to make sure, you know, I was going to get my books and they were going to be good quality.
Exactly.
So, so I say do that. It's a lot of little small things that you will forget, like the ISBN number. Like, I had realized one day that I didn't have that on my book, so I'm like, oh my God, I go back, and it's like $150. So you just got to kind of like write down all the expenses and have a list of everything you need first. That way you don't end up publishing it, and then, like, right. I'm glad I didn't send it over before I had that ISBN number because I needed that. So just the small things, I don't think it's hard at all. A lot of it came from, like, the hardest part was, like, editing it on your own. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you could, like, go to someone, but, like, just making sure, like, those commas are in the right place, because you don't want it to look like you're in third grade. Exactly. So, you know, just making sure that the structure of the book, you know, the organization was good. I feel like that was the hardest part. But, and I feel like the next hardest part is going to be selling the book. Like, because I'm going to have to do the work on my own. Like, I'm going to have to get out there and sell myself, basically. Like, hey, I have this book. This is what it's about. And, you know, convince people that they're going to get a good quality book. So I feel like that's going to be the next hardest part. But I feel like if you have that drive and you put, you know, realness into your work and you work hard on it, like, it's going to speak for itself. So.
All right, well, we're actually out of time here, but I thank you for joining us, Ms. Stacy Lampkin. And that, again, official launch party is February 17th, correct?
Yep, February 17th. It's a Saturday.
February 17th at the Detroit Gallery, and we thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you again, actually, after your book comes out, maybe interview you again and talk about more about your journey in becoming a published author and then making some money with the book.
Yeah.
You know, and then selling it and then reaching others, at least. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Mel.
It's live in the D with Mr.BB.
It's live in the D with Mr.BB every Thursday at 9 a.m. right here on WVI 107.3 Radio We Can See.
That's why I had to say, come follow me, come follow me. That's why I had to say, come follow me, come follow me. to say.